On this week's episode, what you can do to contribute to the Boise community and how you can keep our campus safe from COVID-19.
And on a less serious note, Eric Ryan tells us why people with birthdays are the ones suffering the most in quarantine. These stories and more up next on Take One.
Welcome to Take One. I'm Laramie Lavala.
And I'm Chloe Ball.
Due to the COVID-19 pandemic, classes at Boise State have gone remote. To some students, that could be good news, while other students could see this as a challenge. Remote classes could leave you feeling unmotivated or lazy, making some students miss class, turn in assignments late, or fail to keep in contact with their professors. Instead of turning off the camera button and then continuing to feed your procrastination skills, try these tips to make sure you finish the semester strong. First, try and set aside a time of day or a couple of hours where you will attend class, finish homework, and stay up to date on the happenings in your classes. 2. Keep a work area open and free of clutter. This could be a desk in your bedroom or a kitchen table. And lastly, keep a plant on your workspace. Studies have shown that you retain more information while having a plant in your study area. For more tips, visit the boisestate.edu/studentlife.
This is a historic moment. It's basically something you'd see in a history book. But what if you had the chance to play a role in documenting history yourself? Well, Boise State Archive staff at Albertsons Library are asking the Boise State community to share blog posts, emails, social media posts, or anything that represents their thoughts, feelings, and observations about this time during COVID-19. If you would like to contribute, visit boisestate.edu/news and click on the form. There you will see a list of questions that spark reflection, such as, what do you miss most about being on campus? And how did you transition to working or learning remotely? And so forth. Archive staff also encourages all groups and organizations on campus to save everything from this period of time. For instance, by creating folders in the Google Drive, email, or anywhere to collect documentation.
Now here's a new episode of What to Know.
Boise, Idaho, also known as the City of Trees, carries this name for a reason. The city is home to an amazing abundance of trees, but hidden in the foliage, one tree stands out if you know what you're looking for. I'm Eric Ryan, and this is What to Know about Boise's Tree of Guernica. Located in Boise's Basque Block, the Tree of Guernica was gifted to the city of Boise in 1980 as a gesture of friendship from the town of Guernica in northern Spain. The town is home to a thriving Basque culture and has twinned with the city of Boise, meaning the cities have agreed to cooperate with each other in the fields of culture, education, and industry. The tree came in the form of a sapling from the original Tree of Guernica located in Spain that had survived the 1937 carpet bombings by Nazis during the Spanish Civil War. The original stands as a symbol of freedom and Basque nationalist pride, among other things. The town of Guernica originally sent over 3 saplings from the tree. The 3rd sapling is now Boise's Tree of Guernica and is thriving among the Basque culture that Boise's residents provide. It's amazing how something as simple as a tree can give us insight into another culture's values and way of life. I'm Eric Ryan, and that was What to Know about Boise's Tree of Guernica.
In a weird news story that came about over the past couple of weeks, GameStop stores across North America have actively resisted the order to shut down. They argue they were in fact essential services, and the corporation instructed employees that if confronted by the police, to read a pre-scripted memo and give the police officer the number for the corporate office. No cleaning supplies have been given to the employees. They were just told to take people's money with plastic bags on their hand and to maybe buy some sanitizing wipes at the store. Unsurprisingly, this did not go over well with certain cities and police forces, such as in Philadelphia, where the mayor revoked their business license. One can only wonder what kind of dire straits GameStop must be in if they are so desperate to try and stay open during a pandemic, just to capitalize on certain game releases that were happening during this time. Thankfully, most GameStop stores have chosen to voluntarily close their doors or drastically cut their hours prior to any further police or state intervention.
Cloth face masks are now required in public spaces on campus, since the university continues to provide essential business services to students during this time. If you're still looking for a face mask that isn't your winter scarf or an old bandana, theater arts and costume design are sewing face masks from materials by theater companies across the Pacific Northwest. These face masks will be available for pickup at Central Receiving in the Leatherman Peak building beginning on April 16th and thereafter from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m., Monday through Friday. For more information on the use of cloth face mask coverings and staying safe, visit thecdc.org/coronavirus.
Now here's a new episode of What to Know.
It's old enough to be Boise State University's first student union building, and it's just big enough to cram 1,000 students inside of it. I'm Nigel Oliver, and here's what to know about the Communication Building on Boise State University. The Communication Building was built in 1942 for the intended purpose of being the student union building. This would be the place where everyone would come to host club meetings and dances. A fun fact about the building is that it's supposedly haunted. In the 1950s, a girl named Dinah unfortunately hung herself in one of the bathrooms after leaving a dance in tears. However, it is no longer the student union building. Instead, it now serves as a communication building. The new student union building is now 4 times the size of the comm building. Even though the building is ridiculously small, it still manages to cram in an equipment room, multiple communication classrooms, and offices inside. But the pride and joy of the communications building is the studio, where UTP and BTV make all of their shows and content. The building is getting close to becoming known as ancient, and it shrinks every year as more students enroll here at BSU. But it still gets the job done. My name is Nigel Oliver, and that's what to know about the Communications Building on Boise State University.
And now for some comedic content, Eric Ryan and Ryan Seekert.
Thanks, Chloe. Now, since the stay-at-home order in place for the last few weeks has been extended, more and more people are suffering each day from a lack of human connection. Arguably, though, those suffering the most are those unable to celebrate their birthdays with their loved ones. I mean, millions of spring babies across America are missing out on parties filled with games, cakes, and connection, and it's taking quite a toll on them. In fact, Bun, or Birthdays Uncelebrated Now, posted an official statement on their blog this morning stating that anyone experiencing a birthday in quarantine will not count as that age until after quarantine is lifted. So it'll be kind of like a leap year for those who are missing birthdays right now. I mean, if they went into quarantine at 29, they'll still be 29 after, which, hey, delays the dirty 30s a little bit. And I mean, while this may help that bunch, it's kind of tough news for all the 15 and 17, 20-year-olds who are going to miss out on celebrating their sweet 16s and acceptance into adulthood and legally taking that first drink. Wait, I'm 20. Oh. Anyway, same goes for those who are almost old enough to retire, you know? Like they're just not going to... sucks. Sorry, guys. Better luck next time.
Reports have been coming in near nonstop about people having trouble adjusting to life in quarantine these days. But another aspect of that story is quickly growing, how a surprising number of people actually have had precious little change in their lives. I am, of course, talking about the introverts, like Pat. Pat already woke up every day at about noon or 2 o'clock in the afternoon, stayed in his PJs for most of the day, and then played video games before writing reviews for his blog, which earned him a modest amount of ad revenue. He never left the house, and even if he had to, always got everything delivered to him. It took him 2 extra weeks to realize a pandemic was going on. And thus it shall be in this brave new world of coronavirus that the meek and introverted will rise up as a new predominant force in politics and the workforce. That, or things will likely get back to how they used to be before the outbreak, once all the extroverts are allowed to leave their houses.
Idaho's Governor Brad Little made a monumental decision to extend the state's stay-at-home order through April 30th rather than end the order on the expected date of April 15th. Little was quoted as stating, "I've got to do what I've got to do for the people of Idaho." End quote. How noble. I mean, in reality though, is this that surprising? Like, I don't know about you all, but it seems to me that nobody follows the order anyway. I mean, take a step into any Walmart anywhere and see if that doesn't have you taping trash bags to yourself. I mean, what did people expect? It's like parenting. Like when your kids won't stop playing in the oven, you don't just step back and let them do it. You duct tape that bad boy shut, because sometimes the outcome that people learn from the most isn't worth the medical expenses. And that's just how it is. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Eric. That's all the time we have for you today. Thanks for joining us. I'm Laramie Lavala.
And I'm Chloe Ball. We'll see you next time on Take One.